Now we have Marina jumping on the very edge of the ring.
1 minute.
We have 1 minute remaining. Oh, there is a exchange of hits. Looks like Anna gets around the parry to Marina's head. Let's see, yes. And one for the road. It's judged to be hitting the hand, so it's just 1 point to Anna. There we go. Oh, now we have a exchange of thrusts. Okay, it's a double hit. So back to this. So now there's a lot more emergency on both of these fencers. They're trying to make stuff happen. Again, Marina in the edge of the pist. Anna hurrying her there. Oh. Okay, long exchange. Oh. So there's an exchange of cuts and slices and binds, and then while exiting out, Marina throws a one-handed thrust to the mask, awarding her 2 points. Okay, Anna has challenged this, apparently challenging where the thrust lands, or maybe thinking that in the previous exchange of cuts, parries and binds there is some kind of a hit from one of the fencers. In both corners we see an amount of coaching happening. So today we have 3 weapon sets. We have this women's longsword. After that we have sword and buckler bronze match, then bronze in open saber. After that we move to the gold matches, first in women's longsword, then in sword and buckler, and then in saber. The judging team is taking their time looking at, especially in these kind of long exchanges of parry riposts and binds. It's quite typical that there's going to be a lot to look at, and now they seem to have gotten into a conclusion here. Challenge is rejected, so there is no valid hits prior to that thrust. Is the verdict of the judging team, keeping the score in 1-4. Keep in mind this is a final match, so we go to 7 points. Okay, there seems to be a double hit, a cut to the head and a cut to the belly. Okay, and there, directly from the onset, there's a thrust thrown by Marina. Getting Marina into a dominant 6-1 lead. Because Anna's challenge was rejected, she has no longer any challenges to go. So Marina is quite... Oh, there we go. Beautiful cut around from the bind. Whether or not there was some kind of action before that remains to be seen. Oh, the judging team thinks so, that there's a hit during that cut, so giving it a double hit. 10 seconds left, 1-6. Now Anna really needs to step on it, and she does, but Marina seems to be ready with a parry post and cuts to the hands. That's 1 point. Marina wins. So Marina Hartlein from Schwertenbogen from Germany wins bronze in this year's Black Horns Cup Women's Open Longsword.
Congratulations.
Where's the... It's the wrong paper.
Is it?
You have the wrong.
Leszek has it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So now for the bronze medal fight in the sword and buckler. In one corner we have Konrad Kramacz from Morslag Łódź.
And Aleksander Sosnowski.
In the other corner we have Aleksander
Sosnowski.
Czosnowski. So Konrad Kramacz had a crazy year, mostly competing in Sabre, but around the world quite literally, winning gold medals in Sabre in United States, here in Poland, and then also in Lithuania. He's a very animated fencer, very experienced. And his opponent, I wish there would be a Polish fencer telling me who he is as a fencer, but we'll find out in this exciting bronze match final. There seems to be a slight technical delay. Okay, here we go. So Aleksander Sosnowski is from Katowice, whereas Konrad Kramacz is from Łódź. Both fencers deciding to fight with messers with their bucklers. That's somewhat of a Polish speciality, that here a lot of people fight with messers with bucklers. And here we go, starting the bronze match of Black Horns Cup 2026 sword and buckler. So again, this feeling out process. Exchanging some beats of the sword. Oh, there we go. Alexander thought Konrad was leaving his hand. Oh, now we have an exchange of attacks. So here in Black Horns Cup, there is no priority, meaning that if both fencers get hit in any sequence, no one gets any points in this weapon discipline. So the judging team sees that Konrad gives a shallow hit, so that is 1 point gold. So now there's a big cut towards the leg from Konrad. Alexander is returning with a cut, but whether or not that is quality or just bounces off, that is to be seen what the judging team thinks about this attack. So the judging team feels Alexander's attack is not proficient. Konrad has some kind of question. That is answered. We move to 2-0 for Konrad. Okay, again an exchange of attacks. Another double. A thrust for a cut. So now there's Alexander asking how many protests do we have, how many challenges. They wondering whether or not this is a good place to video challenge. it's its own mini game. Even if you know you didn't get hit, it's always a good question to ask yourself whether or not the video caught that. And Alexander decides video might have not caught that, so it's better to just keep fencing. Okay, again, hits, parries with the bucklers, looks to end up in double attack. No, attack, parry, attack to the leg. The judging team feels that Konrad's attacks have no quality. Konrad disagrees and challenges it from video. So there's an attack to the leg, an attack up, hitting the shield. Maybe Alexander's parry is not sufficient up high, and they'll see that that's a malpare. That's always a good question. Is that sword glancing off the shield or is it missing the shield? So there's a cut above and a cut to the leg, what we're seeing right now. Attack low, and then there's a question of whether Konrad's initial attack low actually catches Alexander's hand. Questionable. And here in this last exchange, what we know for certain is that Alexander hits the leg. Okay, the judging team has come to a conclusion about this. Challenge is accepted, it is considered a double hit. And there is a question from Alexander on what had happened. Okay. However, he is reminded that you cannot challenge a challenge. There we go. Again, working in distance, throwing feints and beats, trying to find an opening. And there we go, hit for a hit. Looks like Alexander's attack is parried and Konrad's is not, giving it 1 point. Attack, okay, interesting. Here we'll see if Alexander is challenging. From our video it looks like maybe he should challenge, and he does challenge. So it looks like this initial hit to the head is what we're looking at. So here, and hanging guard, no, attack head, maybe it hits, and then there's an attack to the leg, and then an attack to the leg afterwards. Seems like that last attack from Alexander is a little bit... Okay, challenge is accepted. Moving into yet another double, so a hit to the head and hit to the leg. So here we go again. Okay, there we go. There's a delayed attack to the leg from Konrad. There's an attempt parry up. Go, boom. Attack to the leg and a counter attack to the leg. No challenge is given. So we move to 3-0 score for Konrad Kramarz. This is a difficult place to be against a veteran like Konrad, who will sometimes elect to just zero out the exchanges with attacking the leg, over electing to parry. Because in this part of the game that might be a good way to delay the exchanges, burn out the clock, and then at some moment spring to change the action, try to find another solution while your opponent is still stuck with trying to deal with the cut to the leg that keeps you safe in this rule system. Challenge accepted. And accepted, and it's decided that Konrad's attack is not valid, and Alexander gets his points on the score up, and there is an attack from distance from Konrad to the hand arm area, changing it to 1-4 for Konrad. Oh, there we go. Attacks flying up and down. So here we see a little bit better angle, attack from below, attack to the shield, and then Konrad goes for a body cut, where Alexander tries to chase with a cut from above. And now we'll see what the judges think. They think both land, keeping it up. And now Konrad is thinking about challenging, but decides to keep that challenge. Maybe wiser so. So we start again, 1-4 with 50 seconds on the clock. So there we go, there's a big cut to the leg from Konrad. It looks from my angle that Alexander's attack is completely parried. The judges look like they're agreeing with me. Yes, there's a cut to the leg and parried after a blow, that meaning 1 point more for Konrad Kramars, 5-1. Okay. Now there's an exchange of cuts. Sander does a cool knee slide, but whether or not that gives him anything besides a coolness point is a good question. Looks like Konrad's sword is there behind the buckler when this explosive movement forward happens, which is obviously like a big. If you decide to go full on forwards, it might be a good idea to keep your defense up. And we see it's a double hit. And there we go. We have 1-5, and we're 35 seconds on the clock. Oh. There's an exchanges of cuts both ways to belly. Konrad is thinking of Konrad is challenging. So here we see from the instant replay, why might he challenge? So there's feinting motions up, there's a cut that's parried, and then a cut that seems not to be parried. At least from this angle, it seems like challenging this was the correct move. It looks like Alexander's attack is parried by Konrad's shield up, but this is maybe not the best angle to see the truth, so the judges happily have several angles to be using here. And as you might notice in these instant replays from time to time, there under the screen we have Andy McCormick, the hematog himself, taking epic photos for you guys. So it's a double hit. Konrad can't believe the call, but then decides to put down his mask and decide maybe I should do it cleaner to make it clear for everyone. We have 29 seconds to go, 1-5. Go. This is one of these finals where the footwork starts being more and more frantic once we get closer and closer to the end. And there we go, Konrad throws a big cut from above to the head. Seems like that's all she wrote. That is 2 points. Konrad, Alexander seems to want to challenge this. There is some kind of attempted attack from Alexander. Also one of these situations where, well, might as well challenge. The video might show something that you didn't see or didn't feel, and change the outcome, and then you get one more exchange. We have a verdict. Challenge is denied, making Konrad Kramarz the bronze medalist of this year's Sword and Buckler of Black Horns 2026.
Congratulations, Konrad!
Yet another medal for the veteran Konrad Kramarz. Okay, moving onwards for the bronze match in the Sabre category in Black Horns Cup.
Who probably needs a little break between the two fights. Against Karol Zakrzewski. Now again, Moczlak is going to fight against Krakowska Szkoła w Kórniku. You can tell how proficient these clubs are.
And
let's look for the applause when the fighters show up on the ring.
So, as it is customary here in Poland, the Sabre finals are dominated by the Polish. So we have two fencers from Moczlak Łódź and two fencers from Krakow. I won't try to pronounce the name of their club because I'll just butcher it.
Mina Marta.
Dobra, zapytajcie Martę, czy jest gotowa, dobra?
Marta,
We are indeed giving a small break for Konrad Kramarz, who is also fighting in this bronze match. Let's see if he'll get one more medal for this half of the year. And after this bronze match, we'll start moving to the gold matches, starting from the women's.
Zamieniamy kolejność. Poleci teraz złoto kobiet, dlatego że Karol przez chwilę nie będzie jeszcze gotowy do walki i Konrad też przez nie będzie gotowy. We'll switch to the gold.
In order to speed things up a little bit, we are going to change the schedule of the fights just ever so slightly. First, before the bronze medal for the Sabre, we're going to have a gold medal fight for women's longsword. You will see Mina Vasarainen against Marta Guzlek. Both of them proficient fighters. Mina being the legend of the HMS Helsinki and Marta Guzlek being the strength coach for Krakowska Szkoła w Kórniku. Well, ladies, may the better one win.
So, as you might have heard, we have a tiny change of schedule. So, in order to let Konrad rest a little bit, we're gonna jump straight into one of the main events of the evening. So, we have a women's longswords gold match. We have Marta Gucek from Krakow, and then we have Minna Vasarainen from Helsinki, Finland.
The ladies are busily gearing up. Mina is already sword in hand, approaching the arena, and so will Marta in just a moment. No pressure, Marta.
So we have Minna already ready on pists in the gold corner, where Marta goes find the last moments of encouragement from her coach Karol.
Marta gearing up for war.
So here we actually have a very highly ranked fight.
Let's give the ladies a round of applause. This is a fight for the gold medal, and this will be the toughest fight today.
So Minna Vasarainen, currently ranked 5th in HEMA ratings, women's longsword, whereas Marta is rated 9th. So we have 2 top 10 women's longsword fencers here on the pist. So there's a quick hug to start the fight. And here we go. These women last met in the semi-finals here in Poland. So 2026 Fechtberg semi-final was fought against these two. So we start with an attack to the hands. So a mistrust from Minna and then an attack to the hands from Marta. Getting to 1-0 for Marta. Here we go. There's it's gonna interesting matchup where it seems like, and as I well know, Minna likes to fight forward with this aggressive stance with the point forward, and Marta accepts and moves backwards. So let's see. Okay, and giving that exchange giving Minna 2 points. So now there's an interesting thing here in play. Is Minna's forwards momentum enough to make Marta hesitate in the parries, giving Minna the advantage, or can Marta stay composed and take those parries? And here seems to be a double hit, and there seems to be a challenge from Marta. Yeah. So there's a challenge. Okay. So here from our instant replay, you can see that there's an attack from Minna, lands on the head, and then there's an attack from Marta. Now the good question is Marta's attack, does it have edge alignment? If it does, then it's a double with no score. If it doesn't, then it's 2 more points from Minna Vasarainen. And here we can see the thing I was talking about, where Minna is building pressure and then exploding for the big attack. This time Marta elects to try to counter-attack instead of the parry post she had working for her earlier. It is always quite stressful when you know if you have to counter-fight, when you have to wait for your opponent to make the opening. Okay, it's considered a double hit, so Marta's attack is considered quality. So we continue with the score being 1-2 to Minna Vasarainen. Okay, now Marta is moving forward a little bit. Minna reminding her like, hey, I have this tool here. Minna going for a big attack up. There's an attack through the parry from Minna Vasarainen to the head. That is 2 points to Minna Vasarainen, then attack through the parry. So it's 4-1, 2 minutes remaining. The good thing about this rule system is that it's not over, still it's over, because we're fighting only in cleat time. So when there is a judgment call, we stop the clock, meaning that 2 minutes is a long time. Even though Minna seems to have a commanding lead right now, she needs to finish the fight. And again goes for a cut above. See, the judge on the side of the cut is showing low target, and the judges on this side are showing high target. Minna does a good job of stuffing Marta's defense up after the hit, making sure there's no afterblow shenanigans. And now the judges are asking something from the fencer. This is considered a double hit for some reason. Okay. Okay. So there's a good sense of measure from both fencers. You can see when they're moving back and forth. The distance between their tips is not changing too much, except now they're getting into a danger territory. And there's a cut from above from Minna and a cut from below from Marta, making it a double hit. So 4-1, 1.5 minutes remaining, 3 doubles. There you go. Minna trying to find an opening and a cut from above, whereas Marta cuts from below. So yet another one of these exchanges where Minna is attacking from above and Marta is electing to counter-attack from below, which for now in this rule system is good for Minna. She can keep doing this, but then if Marta finds the riposte, okay, now we have an action where Minna throws a one-handed thrust to the head, bam, and Marta throws something, and Marta admits a hit to the head. So both giving one-handed thrusts, same tempo, and Minna is asking for a challenge. So what will our instant replay show us? That is the question. So the judging team is thinking about this. This will take, they will want to take their time because this is quite a demanding lead Minna will get. If I'm pretty certain the reason she challenges is that she feels she didn't get hit, even though she hits the head, bam. And especially from this angle it looks like. Okay, so the challenge is rejected, so it's called a double hit. So here we go, 1-4, 1 minute exactly in the clock. So now Minna accepts to go backwards, and then Marta accepts to go backwards. So we're a little bit of a back and forth, both looking for an opening to take the initiative. Minna reminding again with that one-handed thrust. But being out of distance, Marta stays calm. 30 seconds. So now we're starting to step into the territory where, there we go, we have a bind and a cut from Marta, apparently to an upper opening. So there's an attack, there's a bind, there's a cut around. Yeah, it's on the side of one of the side judges. So we'll see what the judging team thinks about this. Giving it 2 points for Marta. Okay, so now we're 3-4, 20 seconds to go, making this just that much more interesting. Let's see if there's a adaptation from one of the fencers. Seeing now Marta is coming in, it's 10 seconds. So at 0 seconds we'll have the last exchange. It seems we're gonna get there, it's 2 more seconds. Last exchange. So this exchange is for all the marbles. Okay, and there's a cut from below, and there's a cut. Okay, so let's see. The judging team is currently only showing attacks for Marta. So there's an attack from Minna and a renewal to the body. Marta is doing an parry and riposte, it seems like. Yeah, but now the judging team looks from the camera, because it's an important exchange. Obviously, if this is a double, it's Minna wins. If it's 1 point for Marta, then we go for overtime. So there's 1 more minute and golden score, meaning that either one of them gets any points to the scoreboard, the winner is that person. So the judges are now looking from one side. So from this side that you see, roughly this side we see on the instant replay here. They're checking the video. So they're calling Minna's attack out of tempo, making it 4-4. So making it a very tight situation. Both of these fencers are experienced, so it's just time to keep their head calm. Okay, so we add 1 more minute of time. So we move to sudden death. So here we see the replay of the last exchange, so the attack up riposte, and then a late afterblow from Minna Vasarainen. So this is these moments between where fencers are thinking about adaptations and what to happen, what to change. Do you change something? Do you just keep on doing what you've been doing to get you this far? So they're just so now we enter the overtime, which is 1 minute, and whoever gets points first to the scoreboard wins. Now, however, if no one gets any points, the winner is the person who scored the first point in this match. Okay, here we go. 1 more minute to solve who is the gold medal winner of the women's longsword here in Black Horns Cup 2026. Here we go. Minna with her bounce and point forward. Marta. Oh, there we go. Minna shoots a thrust towards the face. Initial thrust lands on the mask, and nothing happens after that. That is, whatever happens after is after tempo. That is 2 points gold, and for some reason they are going for the video challenge, or looking at the video. Of course, this is a very important call to make, because if they this exchange chooses the exchange. Okay, so that was a quick check. It's exactly what happened. So 2 points for gold, winner Minna Vasarainen.
successful thrust to the mask in overtime. Mina Vasarainen wins after a tough fight with Marta Guzek. Let's give them both a round of applause.
Okay, now we are moving to the bronze match. Sabre bronze.
No, I think gold something.
Why are we not doing this match?
No, because Karol is still unable to fight, so he needs some more time. He has some problems.
Aha, okay. So we're moving straight to the sword and buckler gold match. So we're gonna get some.
Now for the gold medal fight in sword and buckler. Piotr Janeczek, Akademia Szermierki.
So Piotr Janeczek from Akademia Szermierki
And Michał Wisner from Gryf.
and Michał Wisner from Gryf. It's ready and let's go. So you can expect some hard hitting late cuts from Piotr. Okay, starts out although showing a cut up high. Michal seems to be a lefty, both fencing with these measures with knuckle bows. It's nice, always nice and even when and there's a cut to the leg from Piotr, and then there's a cut from above from Michal. Seems to be out of tempo. Wow. So Piotr, as mentioned, really likes his low cuts, which is a nice and unrisky move. If you hit, it's quite easy to hit, and if your opponent hits back in this rule system, it means no score. So again, Piotr goes for the leg cut, and it seems to have his buckler on the way of Michal's messer. Let's see what the judging team thinks. 1 point. Yes, the judging team thinks that's what happens. So now that we have established a rhythm where Piotr is attacking from his strong side to the leg and trying to make sure that he's not getting hit with his buckler. And there you go. Once again, cut low, keeping the buckler up. So the buckler is there. And apparently judging team thinks that the only valid target for Michal is the back of the head, because Piotr is very leaned forward. So let's see what the decision is in the scoring. And you do see Michal hesitating to throw the cut. Is it because there's a buckler on the way, or is it because the only valid target is a very dangerous place to cut? It's always a good question. So verdict is no score. No, the verdict is 1 point for Piotr. So there's an attack to the hand from Michal, and Piotr acknowledges it before the judging team has time to interject in the fencing. Here we go again. Piotr being a little bit more animated with his footwork, whereas Michal is a little bit more observing on what's going on, throwing singular attacks, trying to fish out Piotr's ideas. Okay, now we go, boom. It's a flying exchange in the edge of the pist. Judges showing a double. Okay, there's a challenge. seems from this angle to be a double. Maybe the only question we can ask here is Michal's attack of quality? Seems to hit the buckler before then hitting the body. Blank here. And that is always tricky as a judge when there is a hit that lands on a buckler and then glances off to another spot to see whether this is what happened, or was it actually that the hit was redirected from the buckler to another location. Now we have a verdict from the judges. Challenge is accepted. But doesn't influence the score. So now Piotr's showing again that low cut, reminding, hey, here it is, but then going up and going down for his cut. A double hit. So there's a card for showing the back of the head. So Piotr, it's a card for showing the back of the head, yellow card for showing the back of the head, which is quite dangerous in this weapon where cuts do rain from above from time to time. Now Piotr showing his big leg cuts. His initial cut that maybe hits. So Piotr opens the exchange with throwing a big cut from the right and then a big cut from the left. Michal answers with a cut of his own in the middle of the exchange to the leg. So it's decided that Michal decides to challenge this, which at least from our instant replay looks like might be the correct call. Here is attack after attack. Now the only thing to think about here is the leg tempo. So attack, palm, but there's looks from this angle that it's attack after attack inside the tempo, meaning that this would be a double hit. So that the score should remain 3-1. Let's see what the judging team says. Challenge is denied. So it might be that they saw that the cut is of no quality. So we are continuing 1-5. Piotr in a commanding lead. And here again, open situation, cut to the leg. Piotr's coach showing a thumbs up. This is the way not to get scored on. At least as long as your opponent doesn't react by like this. So there is an attack, 1 point from blue. So there's the doubling attempt is parried and then an riposte is thrown to the leg. So now there's a challenge from Piotr. Piotr does throw a cut of his own to the leg immediately after getting hit. So there's parry, riposte, and then an attack from Piotr. So there's been some conversation during the weekend on like, should there be a priority when we're talking about sword and buckler in these kinds of instances where defense can be replaced with attacking the legs. It does seem that it might be nicer for the fencer's legs if it would be a different kind of system, but everyone who's come to fence here has accepted the system and they know what they're in for. So we have a verdict. Challenge is rejected. Piotr has some thoughts about this challenge being rejected, and head judge really reveals some of his secrets, and we're off to fence again. So it's 2-5, 40 seconds remaining. Oh, now there's an attack from Michal. And now, so it's 1 point blue. I believe the reason for this is that Piotr is out of the ring when he throws his own attack. But there is disagreement among the judges, so we'll see where they get. As we can see here, a lot of the academia guys like to fence from the very edge of the pistol. So it's considered blow after blow. So it seems like Piotr was in after all. 30 seconds, 2-5. And there's a cut to the leg. Okay, there's an attack to the leg from Piotr, making it 6-2 for Piotr. Michal has to fix his shoelaces to get going, and he has to put on his quick shoes. It's 22 seconds, it's 2-6, so really have to make stuff happen here. And he tries his best, throws a cut towards the head of Piotr. Does it? One of the judges thinks it lands, the other thinks it's parried. Let's see. It's giving 2 points blue. And it is challenged yet again. So here is an attack, hits the head, and then an attack hits the body. Now the challenge might be that that is Michal's hit to the head valid? Okay, it is changed into a double hit. Okay. 10 seconds. Again, Michal needs to up and void backwards, cut the leg. Why change when you're winning? So 5 seconds to go. Michal really needs to get something here. 3, 2, and again cut up, cut low. This time it looks like Piotr gets his buckler on the way. Point Piotr. And there's a discussion among the judges. It looks from the instant replay that Michal hits the arm while Piotr is in the leg. It doesn't really matter for the outcome of the fight. Match. Gold. For some reason, Michal thinks it's good to challenge, even though there's literally no way of it. Okay, and he realizes, oh, there's no way. Whatever they see can't change the outcome, making Piotr the gold medal winner of Sword and Buckler Black Horns Cup 2026. And now we're moving.
Now, Piotr Janeczek is the gold medalist in Sword and Buckler. Congratulations.
So next we'll get two matches of Sabre back to back. The open bronze match between Konrad Kramars and Karol with the last name that is too Polish
Now
for
for the
me.
long-awaited bronze medal in the Sabre category. Konrad Kramars from Łódź and Karol Zakrzewski, Krakowska Szkoła Fechtunku. Both really great fighters, very athletic. Give a round of applause. This will be a very difficult fight for the referees, so keep your fingers crossed, both for the
So
fighters
here we're gonna
and
get
for
some
our
high
judges.
flying action. As already mentioned, Konrad has been on a tear this year in Sabre, only losing the semi-final here today, but a very tight match against his own student. Karol, also a veteran of the game, taller of the two. Let's see if he can find a way to use that for his advantage. And as we can see here, Konrad starts with a lot more active movement, whereas Karol takes his time, seems to try to assess the situation, and there's a attack, parry, and maybe a riposte. Let's see. So what happens? Okay, judges converse. There's 1 point blue, so attack, parry, riposte. Here indeed in Sabre we have a priority for riposte, so immediate attack after a parry has priority over anything else that happens at that moment. So, and also there's a priority of deep target versus legs, so if you cut somebody in the head and they cut you to the legs, you'll get 1 point. So here we, okay, there's a thrust from Konrad with a response with a thunderous cut from Karol to the face, making it the first double of the match. There we go, okay. Now exchanging cuts and voids. Oh, and a void and a beautiful void and a cut from Karol. Will he pull the upset here? We know that Konrad's very experienced. This isn't the first time he's had to claw his way into victory, and it's only a minute gone, 2-0, so we're only getting started here. So both fencers electing to void a lot instead of parrying. Obviously parrying in this rule system a very good idea, but it's a bit risky when you have two skilled fencers because you need to leave yourself into the distance to gain the parry. So here we go again. Oh, Konrad showing a big cut from above. Karol moving backwards, showing some kind of counter attack. So it is a double hit, so a blow after blow. So here again, Karol is letting Konrad push him to the corner, and again cut to the head and an answer to the body. So there is some kind of a protest, challenge from Konrad. There we go for a challenge. So happy the judges have a better angle than this, because this angle doesn't really kind of obfuscate both attacks. If this was a movie, I would say Karol hits and Konrad doesn't, but they only see it from another angle. It's obviously one of the risks of being zealous with challenges, that sometimes a double, when looked at from a camera, makes it show that your opponent is hitting. Challenge is rejected, it is still a double. Okay, here we go again. So a hit to the cup, and currently the problem here is that for Konrad is that he shows a little bit too early that now I'm gonna go, and Karol is thus far been happy to just throw a cut of his own into that movement, but now we can see that Konrad is moving into these moulinets to try to lure out that attack from Karol. But thus far Karol has been patient and then just seen when the actual attack comes and gone with his attack. Now it's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be an adaptation, either Karol moving to a parry post, or there we go, Konrad moving to a more shallower target, feinting the attacks up high and then going to the leg just in the edge of measure, preparing, and plach. There we go. So back again, so it's 2-1. Still Karol in the lead, and another double. 34 seconds to go. So again Konrad elected to go for the deep target again after the shallow. Now attacking the leg is risky in the system, because now if Karol attacks back to the head, then that means it's 1 point for him because of the target priority. And there we go, there is a thrust from Konrad Kramarz. And an attack back from Karol. Is Karol's attack in tempo? That is the good question. Even if it is in tempo, it still should be target priority for Konrad Kramarz, making it 1 point for him. So they're giving 2 points to Konrad, and Karol is challenging this, being quite certain that his cut is in tempo and hits the leg. And from this angle it looks like it's in tempo, hits the leg, but whether or not it's a quality attack, it might be a flat cut to the leg, but that is the judge's job to determine. So a thrust and then a cut to the leg. So now I think Karol faced the problem that he got so moderate amount of success in the beginning by being the second, being behind, fighting from the parry, and now it's starting to be so challenge is rejected. The cut to the leg is deemed invalid. So 2-3, 25 seconds to go. Now we have a change of pace. Now Karol is the one that needs the points, and Konrad is the one that doesn't necessarily need to, although knowing that every exchange won is towards the win. 10 seconds, 2-3. So now there's more urgency from Karol, and a big cut to the body from Konrad, making it 5-2. Now the judges are talking about what is the target area? Is it 2 or is it 1? It is given 1 point for Konrad Kramar's contested area. So when the judges are not certain, they'll give the lower point value. Okay. So that it's 2-4, 2 seconds remaining before the last exchange. So let's see if Karol rushes it. No, last exchange. Okay, so now Karol needs a 2-pointer. So Karol goes for a deep cut. Let's say in a typical fashion, both fencers celebrate. So there's an attack, and then Karol hits an attack as well. So now the question is, what are the target areas? So first attack is towards the leg, misses. Karol also misses. Then second attack towards the leg. It is a good question. It could be head, it could be shoulder. The judges gather around the camera to see who wins. Or not wins. If Karol gets the 2 points here, then we'll move on to overtime. So it's not done yet. So here we see where's the arc going to. It's a good question. It looks like it moves the overlay of the mask of Konrad around the neck area. Right here. But whether or not the judges deem that as a deep target is a good question. We're getting some good drama to finish the bronze match. And after this we still have the gold match in Sabre between Tomasz Pawliszewski from Morslag as well and Franciszek Wyrobek also from Krakow. So we have only 2 clubs represented in the Sabre finals today. Okay, the judges have reached a conclusion. So they see it as 2 points, blue. So then we go to overtime. So we get to overtime. So 1 minute. Yeah. So that was the last exchange, and we are moving on to So now we have an interesting situation. Also deemed that that Konrad has stricken the floor, gotten a yellow card, meaning that if no one gets any points in the next minute, the match will be Karol's. Now, not giving any points in a minute in a match like this is not very easy. So we seem to be moving to the overtime. So the main judge is talking to the fencers, reminding them to act civil, play nice. reminding them what's what. So now will we see big moves from the gate or more measured approach? Fencers are getting ready and here we go. So again, similar to the beginning, Konrad having a little bit more movement, whereas Karol is taking his time. Konrad goes for an attack to the hand, moving back and forth, showing feints, and then a cut with a thrust. So a double. Here we go. So with this doubling exchange, as we saw in the last exchange of the actual bout, Karol has a bit of advantage because he's taller. 30 seconds to go, it's 4-4. A moulinet from Konrad into a jumping cut. That gives enough time for Karol to counter-attack. So it's stays 4-4 with a double. So 25 seconds to go. So no drastic measures yet from either of the fencers. There's an attack to the leg from Konrad and an attack to the head from Karol. We'll see how this looks like. So attack, very similar to the earlier exchange. At least Karol seems to be convinced that he hits the head. And deeming from the demeanor of Konrad, it might be so, but it ain't over till the judges say so. So this might be leg arm. So it is indeed on the arm, so it is a double. It is always interesting when you get this release of, hey, yes, I won, but no, you didn't. So okay, they're fixing some of Karol's gear. So 19 seconds. So here we go. There's an attack both ways towards the hands. So it's a double. So 13 seconds, 4-4. Attack to the leg, attack to the arm, yet another double. So now Konrad is going for the leg. Let's say if it's all a setup for a change up high. So for example, a feint to the leg and a parry riposte. Last exchange, they're fighting at the very edge of the piste. Now Karol is giving the leg, saying please come get it, and yet another double. So now my understanding is that the winner is... Okay, the judges will convene to maybe take a look at the rule book and ask the question, what now? Are they gonna give it more time? It is my understanding it should be cards, but I also might be incorrect, and it might also be about who scored the first point. And if it's that, then Karol should win. So this indeed the card. So Karol wins by the slightest of margins. So bronze medal match for Karol from Krakow.
And now we have our bronze medalist, Karol Zakrzewski. Bravo for Karol. He fought it well. And it was a tough fight. tries Konrad Lima, super resistance.
So we get another Łódź versus Krakow match here
The first one.
for the shiniest of medals.
And again, Moczna Łódź, Tomasz Pawliszewski. Let's give it up for the fighters. The toughest fight in Sabre for today.
So now interesting seeing these fencers are from the same clubs as the previous fencers. How much does this affect this match? So can we see similar fencing from both, or
The judges are getting ready.
is it a completely new fight? Also similar to the previous match, Franciszek is taller than Tomasz.
It is a taxing job.
And now we get our main judge back into the field from getting some water.
Let's take a split second to give it up for the judges as well. These people have worked the hardest today. Thank you, the refereeing staff. Bravo!
Okay, here we go for the last match of Black Horns Cup 2026 for the gold in Sabre. Here we go with a nice little tap. Oh, there we go. Franciszek throws a cut from the outside to what seems to be the arm of Tomasz. Yes. So it is 1 point blue. Here we go. We have a lot more movement in this match, whereas in previous match there was one party moving a lot. This time both of the parties are willing to dance around to find that advantage. So attack, parry, riposte. Seems like the riposte goes to the body of Tomasz. Bam, bam. So we indeed have a riposte priority here. So we're 3-0 for Franciszek. So we have it moving around. And a double. So there's this seeking in outer measure, and sometimes when you play this measure game, then both of you realize at the same time, hey, now it's time to attack, and then you end up both hitting up. There's parry, contra parry, post. So there's attack, parry, riposte. Scoring it. With the parry riposte priority, it moves to 5-0 for Franciszek. Oh, there's a nice low void from Tomasz, hitting the body of Franciszek. Attack, dodge, looks like a cut to the leg. So a very athletic voiding move, well used to get from under that cut. So it's 1 point for Tomasz. Opening his point, so it's 5-1, but we have nearly 2 minutes to go, so anything can happen in this match still. So now there's more movement from Tomasz, but also moving backwards. Now he's driven into a corner. And cut low, cut high. There we go. So again, Tomasz is trying the same void going down, but Franciszek this time gets it on the head. It seems to be like quite a solid cut. So a target priority giving Franciszek 1 point. Moving it to 6-1, Tomasz challenges. So at least from our instant replay, it does look like the judges got it right. Unless this hit here hits the hand. So there's the showing low. There's a show low, cut high. And there is countermeasure from Tomasz that might actually hit the arm. And that would move it out of the target priority area into a double. Let's see what the judges see from the other angle, where they can maybe see better if Tomasz's attack to the hand is valid or not. From this angle it does look like it's valid, so it should get the challenge accepted and get some more fencing for us all. Okay, we have a challenge is accepted and it is changed into a double. So 5-1 it is. So here we go. So we have 1.5 minutes remaining, 5-1. Franciszek one deep cut away from win. Tomasz has a little bit more work to do, but it's not a huge gap. Parry post priority for Tomasz, hitting the body, celebrating by running out of the ring. So here we go, and that is the interesting part about this riposte priority, that you can kind of chase a long time when you have the priority. It gets people to parry a little bit more. So 5-3, as said, it's not done before it's done, and now it's a simultaneous attack, head and maybe arm. So score is still 5-3. Will Krakow take double wins in the finals, or will Tomasz be able to take a win for Woods? So 5-3 and 50 seconds remaining. So Tomasz seems to have found a new speed up. There is, I think somebody hits themselves, so no points. Judges need to be very ready to react in this, so it's better to stop it a bit early and then go, oh my bad, than to stop it too late and lose the exchange. And it's a cut below, a cut above. Now the question is, so it's 2 points. So it's a cut to the body from Tomasz, bringing it to 5-5. So 5-5 and 50 seconds remaining. As said, anything can still happen. So now Franciszek needs to find something new, something to shake it up, and and he finds a thrust. Whether or not there's a return from Tomasz, good question. It's good enough for a question for the judges to have a meeting about it. Does look like leg, hopefully not. Well, hopefully only leg, but there's a fall at least. So attack, thrust, without opposition, which gives Tomasz a possibility to react with a cut of his own. So here we see thrust and cut and a cool movie like fall. So 5-5, 33 seconds of clean fencing time to go. So judges seem to have gotten to some kind of a conclusion. So it is 1 point for Franciszek for target priority. Here we go. Ooh, Franciszek needs 1 point. Now Tomasz needs to not let that 1 point come in. Oh, there's an attack towards the head, but his hand was parried. Oof. So there's some thunder in these strikes and a double. So 16 seconds remaining, 6-5. This is also a dangerous situation to parry because to double because a feint cut to the leg from Franciszek. That's all she wrote. Franciszek Burobek taking gold from Black Horns Cup 2026 Sabre category. So Team Krakow celebrating widely.
Franek has indeed not worn a medal for quite some time, so he has every right to enjoy his victory. Congratulations, Franek!
That's it for me. I was Miro Lahtela, your host for this live stream. Thank you and good day, night, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this.